Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK. We're out foraging again. It's the 20th of May. It's a beautiful day and we've been having lots of fun. We found some interesting mushrooms not long ago, some white oyster mushrooms. We found some young giant puffballs, and down here we found something that's nice and mature and ready for me to harvest, I think. Now, without doing some things to this mushroom, I can't be 100% sure what it is, but what I am positive of is that this is an agaric mushroom. The agaric mushroom family is an important family for foragers to know. It's the family that all your button mushrooms, portobello mushrooms and chestnut mushrooms that you buy in the shops come from. But the wild varieties, a couple in particular for me, are tastier than those. Now, in the wild we find, well, in some of my older books it says there's about 37 different species of agaric in Britain, but due to some work being done in Kew Gardens and other places, that family's expanding, and I've got a good idea of what this mushroom is. But first of all, there's a couple in the family to really look out for. There's the yellow stainer, which is a mushroom that's incredibly common throughout the UK and I think causes the most poisonings of any mushroom in Britain. It's not deadly, but it'll make you very, very sick, or at least most people get very sick from it. Apparently some people can eat it without any trouble, but yeah, you don't want to risk it. Now, the yellow stainer, Agaricus arvensis, is one agaric that's slightly toxic, or toxic. The other one that you find, I think, very rarely in Britain, I'm not sure I've ever found it, is the Agaricus palatianus. Those are both white and they both stain yellow when you damage them. And very importantly, they both smell quite horrible. There is another toxic agaric, the Agaricus moelleri, or the inky agaric, inky mushroom. That one doesn't have a white cap. That one has a more sort of mottled effect on the cap. You could possibly mistake the prints for that one, but not these ones here. So what I'm going to do is take this most mature one here, just cut him, and show you the key features of the agaric family. Now, the agaric family never have white gills. The gills start off pink and they go through to dark brown, as you can see here, and sometimes you can even see them almost black. Also, they have a stout stem. The agarics are different to the agricibes in that respect. Most of the agarics have a stout stem, whereas the agricibes, which can look a little bit similar, not particularly anything to worry about, but they always have a nice thin stem. Also, the agarics always have a skirt. And actually, if you zoom in on that skirt, you can see the colour of the spores. That dusty brown colour that you've got on the spores there, on the skirt there, is the spores having dropped out of this mature cap onto there. So if you do a spore print with the agarics, the spores are dark brown, or browny, as you can see there. Now, I just cut this one, so I can't show you, but it's not coming from an egg sac. That's important, as we all know, because mushrooms with skirts coming from an egg sac can often be in the Amanita family, which includes the death cap and the destroying angel. They all have white gills though, so we've clearly got an agaric here, not an agricibe, not a St. George's mushroom, because the gills are dark, and not an Amanita because the gills are dark. Now, in this family, my favourite is the Prince, which is out at this time of year, and then my second favourite is the horse mushroom, which I believe this to be. Now, the test is first of all to damage the mushroom, and I'll just run my knife over the cap and see what colour it stains. I'm starting to see little bits of yellow there. Most there, I suppose. Now, that yellow is your warning sign. If this was the yellow stainer, it would go very bright yellow, as it is starting to there. If it was the palatianus, it would still go a bit yellow. Even the moelleri goes a little bit yellow. Quite a lot of the agarics actually blush red when you damage them. Now, all of the agarics that blush red are edible. So if this blushed red, I wouldn't do any further tests whatsoever. I'd know that I had an edible mushroom. But this one's blushed yellow, so then you've got to go to test number 2. There's 2 things to remember when you're picking agarics. So first of all, if it stains yellow, you need to worry. Secondly, what does it smell like? That's an important thing. The field mushroom, which is in this family, has a nice mushroomy smell. The horse mushroom has hints of aniseed to the smell. The prince that I mentioned earlier has hints of aniseed kind of mixed with almond to the smell. The poisonous ones both smell of chemicals. People say things like Indian ink or phenol as the smell that you get from the poisonous members of this family. So I'm just going to get a good dose of the smell from the mushrooms. You normally cut them or damage them a little bit. So I'm just going to cut him across here, break a little bit off and smell where I've damaged him. And yeah, sure enough, a lovely smell of mushroom mixed with hints of aniseed, which tells me that I have got a horse mushroom here, Agaricus arvensis. Now, again, due to that work being done by mycologists, the horse mushroom, I think is no longer just one mushroom. I think there's actually 4 different types of horse mushroom that you get in the UK. And for mycologists, that's great, makes it a really interesting little clade of mushrooms. But from a forager's point of view, all you need to know is it's an agaric that smells nice. It doesn't smell of chemicals, which is what we have here. Just a few runs over the other features. You've got this pendulous skirt, white cap, dark gills, stout stem. This one's growing in a little bit of scrubby wood. You find quite a few of them growing with fir and pine, and the field mushrooms and quite a lot of the family grow with grass, so you do find them in different environments. This is a lovely tasting mushroom. I'm really, really pleased with this. We're going to leave the younger one there to continue doing its thing. This one I am going to take home and really enjoy eating because they have a lovely mushroomy flavour. They put your button mushrooms from the shops to shade. So the horse mushroom, you find them from around now, around May, right through to the end of summer, and I even find them in autumn. So they're a good mushroom with a long fruiting season. A great one to know. And of all the mushrooms I've found today, this one's my favourite. So if you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk.com.